Hello fans and friends, welcome to another video. My name's Keir Smith. For today's video, I'd like to talk about one of the most polarising albums in the progressive rock era. It's certainly the most polarising album in Yes's back catalogue. I am of course talking about the double album 1973's Tales from Topographic Oceans. I found another great YouTube channel a few months back called The Prog Corner, and the host Scot is a huge Yes fan. They're his favourite band, and he says that Tales from Topographic Oceans is his favourite album of all time. So of course he did a video on this album, and he said that at first he didn't like it, and he went on to say that you've got to persevere with it. There's no shortcuts, you've got to put the hard yards in. And that inspired me to pull the album out and play it again because I hadn't done for quite some time. And it's put me on a journey with this album because I consider myself a big Yes fan. I own and like most of their albums. I've really been enjoying Tormato and The Ladder, for example, recently. But I never really connected with Tales from Topographic Oceans. I've played it maybe 3 times all the way through since I bought it some 13 or 14 years ago. And I never thought too highly of the album. I could hear little bits of music that I liked, but at over 80 minutes, I considered the album to be bloated, self-indulgent, meandering, all words which have long been associated with this double album. And so it sat there in my Yes collection, and I've casually disregarded it in favour of albums like Close to the Edge or Going for the One. But since seeing Scot's video, I've started to put those hard yards in, and a month ago I played the album all the way through. But I felt the same. Again, I could hear bits that I liked, but it didn't leave any real impact on me. So then I played side 1 on its own, and then side 3, and then side 2, and then side 4, and I started to break it down like that. And then it slowly started to sink in bit by bit. So I started playing side 1 and 2 together, and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 4, and then 2 and 3. They say God loves a trier. Well, Lord knows I'm trying. And so now I can tell you that I'm enjoying the journey. I still don't know exactly where I stand with the album, but what I do know is I like it a whole lot more than I did a month ago. It's definitely got my interest, and I feel like those hard yards are beginning to pay off. As I said, this is a double album, but I do like getting my teeth stuck into a double album. It's over 80 minutes long, and there's so much to hear, and that can only be appreciated after repeated listens. But that's what I like about double albums. There's a lot of information there, and you can't take it all in immediately. You have to embrace the whole thing and invest in it, and I'm certainly doing that. Now, I'm sure most people who clicked on this video know the lofty concept of this double album. Lead singer John Anderson had the grand idea to make 4 epic sides of music based on the 4 bodies of Hindu text, 4 shaistras, after reading the autobiography of a yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. It was without doubt the grandest of ideas, and it was intent on stretching the band's musical boundaries as far as they would go, and in turn it stretched a certain Rick Wakeman's patience as far as it would go. So I'll talk a bit about the album now, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, but I'm pleased to say it's largely positive. So of course we start with side 1, the revealing Science of God, Dance of the Dawn. And this is what I think is a familiar sound for the band. It opens with John Anderson's light vocals and mystical lyrics, Rick Wakeman's bright keyboards. I really like that hook line, I must have waited all my life for this moment, and the harmonies that go around that. The shift in tempo around the 8.5 minute mark when Anderson sings Starlight Movement, and again after the 12 minute mark when the band settle into a super cool rock groove and play superbly together. And again after the rather mellow Young Christian See It section. Without doubt there is some stunning Yes instrumentation across these differing musical passages. And the whole piece pleasingly resolves itself with the return of the previous melody line, we must have waited all our lives for this moment. And I really like the way that the song fades out with those hushed vocals that deliver these Beautiful lyrics. You seekers of truth, accepting that reason will relive and breathe and hope and chase and love for you and you and you. Side 2, the remembering, hide the memory, to my ears is the most musical of the four sides here. I think there is some stunning yes music across this piece, and it's quite light and folksy, but I really like the melodies here. The opening melody is nice, followed by John's pretty and wistful vocal. I rather like that part where he sings, out in the city, running free. Days pass as seconds turn the key. The strength of the moment lies with you. Backed by that bouncy rhythm section of Alan White and Chris Squire. That's all very nice and easy on the ear, and that's followed by that folksy part where John sings, don the cap and close your eyes. And of course we get that burst of energy from the band with the superb relayer part. I love that part so much. It's such a euphoric moment on the album. Relayer, all the dying cried before you. And I really like the way these different sections weave in and out, and there's some lovely atmospheric passages here, especially towards the end of the track. Alan White's drumming is great, and Steve Howe's guitar solos sizzle. And I'm mad for melody, and I think that side 2 is packed with so many tuneful twists and turns. And I think that it's the side of music that's been pieced together best by the band, and it's certainly my favourite side at this moment in time. Side 3, The Ancient, Giants Under the Sun, is a little harder to love. The sound is loud, dense, and a bit brutish. It's got a mechanical, grinding sound that sometimes feels like you're being beaten over the head repeatedly. That said, I can't help but admire Steve Howe's guitar playing that wails, and he takes it to places that he'd never really taken the guitar before. But overall, I think this side lacks a bit of direction. But once again, it's saved by Steve Howe's beautiful classical guitar playing and the Leaves of Green section. And of course, John Anderson's thoughtful lyrics and sweet vocals. But this side is definitely my least favourite of the four sides. And finally, side 4, Ritual, Nous sommes du soleil. I love the mood and tempo of the opening 4 minutes or so, which features some great singing from John Anderson and that melodic phrasing that he does. And I hear Steve Howe there playing a part, something similar to one I heard on Close to the Edge. And then the song settles into a very mellow groove. I really like the harmonies here, and I like the way that the song builds as John Anderson sings that line, as they don't seem to matter at all. And then from the 12-minute mark, oof, Alan White's drumming, Chris Squire's bass playing, it's fast, it's funky, it's fantastic. And Alan White's heavy tribal drumming that follows that part is really cool. And then that lovely, soft, trickling piano on that rather melancholic ending is so good. And that's just prior to one more fantastic flourish from the band around Steve Howe's superb guitar solo. I'm really enjoying side 4. It's growing on me all the time. There's so much musicianship between the band on this side, and it's a more than fitting end to this vast body of work. So there you go, they are my current thoughts on Tales from Topographic Oceans. Side 2 being my current favourite, followed closely by side 4. I really like side 1, but side 3 is coming last at this moment in time. But time passes, opinions change. What I now need to do is play the whole thing all the way through again and see if I can piece it all together. Make no mistake, this is music as an art form. It's got length, breadth, and adventure. But the purpose of this video was to capture this moment in time, this moment in my journey with this most intriguing of albums. I feel like there's a lot more for me to discover about this album and like about it, and I'm excited about that. I would of course love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Have you, like I have, struggled to get to grips with Yes's Tales from Topographic Oceans? And I suspect more than a few of you will have. It's not easy, is it? But none of the best things in life are. Anyway, please give the video the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel. There'll be lots more to come. Thanks as always for watching. See you next time.